students, here is your English class. So far you have seen, listened to only physics, chemistry, maths and biology classes. Now, to break the monotony of these subject classes, we have for you your much awaited English class. So, I am Ramchandra Bhatt, your English teacher now. Students, in second QC, two texts have been prescribed for your study. They are springs and streams. And I believe all these, the copies of the textbooks have been sent to all the students, and you all have the books with you now, both springs and streams. Well, springs is an anthology of poems, essays, other prose lessons, and one or two one-act plays. Whereas streams is the workbook, in fact, the kind of workbook you have had in first QC. It has exercises on language skills to make you acquire those language skills. So students, here we begin the year with the first lesson. I reckon you have the book Springs with you. So open the page of the textbook, come to the first lesson. That's a poem. The title of the poem is Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is written by William Shakespeare. As you can see on the screen, the picture of William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is considered the greatest poet in English literature. He has written about 37 plays. Some of them are classic tragedies. Some of them are tragicomedies. Some of them are comedies. A few of them are famous worldwide, very well known, read again and again, prescribed for the study of generations of students. In addition to these 37 plays, he has also composed about 150 sonnets and a few other poems. Now, we have here two excerpts from one of his very well-known plays. That's Romeo and Juliet. Now, you must be wondering, well, I said it's a play and here you have a poem to study. Now, you must remember, if you've heard of Shakespeare, if you've heard when he lived in 17th century, about more than 300 years ago. Language, particularly literary language, was different then. Poets wrote plays even in the poem form. Even the plays were written in the poem form. Particularly Shakespeare wrote his plays in the poem form. So you have two excerpts from his well-known play called Romeo and Juliet in here for your study. Now, Romeo and Juliet, you can see the sketch taken from your textbook, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is also considered a tragedy, a love story in the first place. That's also a tragedy. Before I take up the discussion of the poems, these two excerpts from Romeo and Juliet, let me briefly tell you the story of Romeo and Juliet. A love story. You must all be excited to hear the story. Perhaps many of you have already heard of it, and it's tedious for you to hear it again. Nonetheless, it's a love story, So, Romeo and Juliet. To tell you briefly the story details. The story takes place in Verona. In Verona, there are two noble families, the Capulets and the Montagues. I'm sorry. The Capulets and the Montagues. These are two noble families, royal families. But these two families were sworn enemies, bitter enemies. So they fought against each other. Their people also, their followers, their men also fought. So Verona witnessed street wars, street fights almost every day. So much so that the Prince of Verona was tired of seeing so many fights between these two families. So one day he declared, anyone who breaks the peace next will be killed. He announced that way. So let's proceed with the story. As you have it given in the play itself, in the introduction to the play, the old Lord of Capulet hosts a dinner once, and Romeo, who belongs to the Montagues family, attends the party. But he comes there in disguise, and curiously, he comes there to see a woman called Rosalie. But there, in the party, as you can expect, there was dance, there was music, and after the music there will be drinks and other things. Well, the dance was on, and on the dance floor, we saw Juliet, a woman, a lady with bewitching beauty. So, seeing Juliet, as I said, love at first sight. So, the minute he saw Juliet, he fell in love. He was spellbound by her beauty. So, he fell in love with her. Thereafter, he comes to know that the lady whom he loved is the daughter of the Lord of Capulets, and he belongs to a rival family, an enemy family. But love knows no bounds of family, right? As Shakespeare would have us understand, love transcends all bounds. So that's what you see here. It transcends the bounds of the bound family. They fall in love, and well, there is a priest called Friar Lawrence who arranges the marriage between Romeo and Juliet, because they know very well that parents would not consent to their marriage, so their marriage was held in secret. But it so happens that a little later, Juliet has a cousin called Tybalt. Once he picked up a quarrel with the two of Romeo's friends, and the quarrel turned to a fight, a duel with swords. So the quarrel ended in Tybalt killing one of Romeo's friends. Romeo was angry. We don't know if Romeo knew who Tybalt is. Perhaps he knew yet. The person killed is his friend, so he couldn't put up with it. So he avenges the death, the killing of his friend. So he fights with Tybalt and kills Tybalt. Now the peace is disturbed. Peace in Roma is disturbed again. So I told you, Prince parents of Verona had already declared the person who disturbs the peace in Verona would be killed. But luckily, Romeo is not killed, he is banished. Romeo is sent out of Verona. Now, Romeo going out of Verona results in the separation of Romeo and Juliet. Meanwhile, obviously, the parents not knowing, the parents of Juliet, the Lord Capulet not knowing the marriage, and even if he knew, he wouldn't have agreed to this marriage. So he arranges Juliet's marriage with one Paris, but Juliet cannot marry Paris. So he sends word to Romeo. She approaches the priest, Friar Florence in the first place. So they discuss, they hit upon a plan, and accordingly it was planned that Juliet would lie. She took some potion with the magic power which would make her look dead when she is not actually dead. So she lies down in a coffin. So it's the plan. Then Romeo would come, they would run away from Verona. Is their plan. But then it so happens that Romeo does not come to know. He is not informed of this plan. So he comes, sees Juliet lying in the coffin, looking dead. He thinks that Juliet is dead. So, seeing Juliet dead, he can't bear the sight. He kills himself. It's too love. He sacrifices himself for his love. He dies there. A little later, we see Juliet waking up, but when she wakes up, she sees Romeo dead. So, when Romeo is dead, she sees no point in living. She also loves Romeo equally, or perhaps even more, you can say. So, she also kills herself. Later, of course, the story says both the families are reconciled. They swear not to fight again. Anyway, you have the story this way. Love bringing two rival families together. In the first place, love transcending the bound of families, and then bringing two families together. Now, to say a word or two about the theme of the poem. It's a love story. It's a poem basically. And hearing the word love, you will all be excited. But how? I must tell you, there are different notions of love. Perhaps the notion of love you have is just infatuation. An emotion that lasts for a few days or perhaps for a few months. But there are many other notions of love. Shakespeare himself speaks of love as something that lasts, something that is steadfast, something that is eternal. In one of his sonnets, he says, "Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love that alters. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love that alters when alteration finds. Oh, it's an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken." So on and so forth. The point here is the idea of love. Love is a union of true minds, two true minds, honest minds. It's not coming together, just coming together of a man and woman. It's a union of minds that lasts till the end, that doesn't alter, that is steadfast, it's not transient. Well, they show love today and tomorrow something else happens, they become enemies or they forget each other. That is not true. Shakespeare himself says it. There are other notions of love. There are also other notions of love. You know, you love your parents. Parental love. Children's love for their parents. There is love of humanity. As Jesus Christ himself said, love thy neighbor. It's love of humanity. You love people around you. They could be your friend. And of course, you love your brothers, sisters, and people who are related to you in blood. You also love people who are not blood relatives, but then your friends, neighbors, people of other caste, communities. You see people, their hearts, how good they are. Do not go by their caste, community, etc. So that notion of love of humanity. And then, in the 21st century, you have the need of the hour, love of nature. Many people show concern for nature. Nature that includes birds, vegetation, landscape, water, etc. Animals, everything. Because we know nature is at stake now. Well, people are talking about impending ecological disaster if man does not change his ways. So love nature. So there are many notions of love. Whatever the notion of love you subscribe to, let me say, love is good. Pity, any love of anyone, love is good. And on the other hand, envy is not good. We must see ourselves in others. So when we do that, we don't hate others. We don't have enmity to anyone else. So, students, that's about the background. And now let's come down to the poem. I said there are two excerpts from the play Romeo and Juliet. I also told you though they are a part of the play Romeo and Juliet, they are in poem form because then in those times, Shakespearean times, even the play is written in the poem form. Now, why do we study? Is it to appreciate Shakespeare's ideal of love? Why do we study this? Not exactly here. It's not the idea of love that we are going to study. We are going to study Shakespeare as a craftsman. Shakespeare, I told you right at the beginning, that is considered one of the greatest poets. So, in what sense is he the greatest or even great poet? We have an instance to see the craftsmanship of the poet called Shakespeare. And what do I mean by this craftsmanship? Now, writing a poem is an art. Writing poetry. Writing a poem is an art. Painting is an art. Drawing a sketch is an art. There are many works, many occasions that are considered an art. Where the person doing it puts his heart. A painter uses paint and brush as his tool to make a picture. vivid, appealing, mesmerizing picture. What does a poet do? He doesn't have any paint, not as he has any, not as he has any brush. So what does he do? He uses his imagination. Imagination, of course, everyone else needs to have. A painter needs to have, an engineer needs to have, a doctor needs to have, everyone needs to have imagination. But a poet uses his imagination, his intuition, his imagination, and creates mental pictures. Now, he creates mental pictures with the help of the techniques, little techniques. You studied earlier. This is not the first year in which you are studying literature. You have studied literature for many years earlier. So you know, in poetry, there are little techniques. You have very many figures of speech, metaphor, simile, this and that. All those are a poet's tools to create pictures. Vivid pictures. So much so that we imagine, we go beyond the bound of reality. What we see in reality may not be that appealing, but what we read in the form of words and the freedom these words give you to go beyond the reality, to imagine much more, is very rich, beautiful. So let's come down to the study of the poem. The first one is in fact taken from first act, fifth scene of Romeo and Juliet. I'm sorry? Yeah. Romeo and Juliet. The first act, scene fifth. Romeo's dialogue is given here. Romeo says, let me first read out those lines for you. Thereafter I'll discuss them. Romeo says, oh, he sees Juliet. Let's now imagine the situation. Romeo comes to the party hosted by Lord Capulet, and there dance is in progress, and there are many people dancing. Amidst there is Juliet, and he sees Juliet. Seeing Juliet, the minute he sees Juliet, he exclaims, "Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for beauties, for art too dear. So shows his stomach top drooping with the rose, as yonder lady over her fellow shows. The measure done, I will watch her place of stand, and touching eyes make blessed my rude hand. Take my heart, love it not. Forswear it, sigh, for I never saw true beauty till this night. This is what Romeo says. Let's see what Juliet says. And Juliet's words are taken from the third act, second scene of the same play. Let's see what Juliet says. Juliet, I must have told you that Juliet also falls in love with Romeo. It's not Romeo alone falling in love with Juliet. Juliet also love at first sight for her too. Juliet, it's a little later, not at the very instance of seeing Romeo for the first time. It's a little later. Juliet says, Maybe when there is the prospect of separation, her separation from Romeo. So at night, come mine, come Romeo, come thou day in night, for thou will lie upon the winds of night, whiter than new snow, and a raven's back. Come, gentle, come, lovely, black-robed night, kill me my Romeo, and then I shall die. Take him, cut him out in many stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with the night. And then no worship to the Ganesh song. So students, your big art with the poem. So I said, we study here the workmanship of the poet Shakespeare. It's not the theme of love. This theme, well, there are different notions of love. And well, it's for the individuals to choose which theme of love one must choose. Right? So what should we are studying poetry here, an exquisite piece of poem. Right? Romeo, he sees Juliet. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Look at the way he first born. Oh, an exclamation expressing his the impact of the magic of Juliet's beauty on him. Oh, he can't remember himself. What a beauty! She doth teach the torches to burn bright. Now, torches. The torch is an object. We must, in fact, think of the torches used in yesterdays, in Shakespeare's time, not the electric torches we use now. Well, in those days you had, perhaps some of you might have seen such torches being used even today in villages. Right? A pole, you have a pole, and to the end of the pole, a cotton ball is tied, and maybe a little kerosene is doused on it, and fire is set on it, and the torch burns. Now the torch is an object that burns bright. It's known for its glow, its brightness. Not glow, its brightness. But the glow of Juliet's beauty is so radiant, so resplendent, so shining that her beauty seems to teach even the torch to burn bright, to improve. Obviously, it's exaggeration. Now we have a figure of speech here. The figure of speech where exaggeration is resorted to is called hyperbole. Hyperbole. This is pronounced hyperbole. Exaggeration. Obviously, Juliet's beauty cannot teach the torch to burn brighter. It's exaggeration. But exaggeration has its effect, its use and its use, in fact. What's its use? Well, describing Juliet's beauty. It's not, well, Romeo, it's not just that Romeo is describing. The poet is showing us through Romeo the beauty of Juliet. The poet is also showing us the intensity of Romeo's love. Now, perhaps you must have perhaps you've heard of, you've seen movies, love being enacted, intense love, how lovers express their intense, passionate love. So, a similar attempt is being done here. When the love is intense and passionate, the lover you can't imagine the lover simply saying, "Oh, she's beautiful," or using some other phrase, "Well, she's extremely beautiful." You can't. It was not figures of speech, hyperbole, metaphor, this and that. Now that is why hyperbole here. So, the intensity of this love. Let's go on. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night. It appears though Juliet is hanging upon the cheek of night. I told you, Shakespeare is a master craftsman. Words are his tools. So, there is another figure of speech. Now here he compares night to a person, personifying the night. Night is black in color, or night doesn't have the color, let us say. Day has light, night, the absence of light is night. But night is associated with the black color, or, well, a designated black color. So, black, like a black moon, right? Now, she hangs upon the cheek of night is a woman, a person, and Juliet is something that hangs upon the cheek, and it's made clear in the next slide. As a rich jewel in an ageless year, I said 9 is personified. You have personification here. Personification is the figure of speech. Personification. Night is personified. Night is visualized as a black woman from Ethiopia. Now, we may have a temptation to call, or at least to wonder, if Shakespeare was racist in his outlook. Why? Well, what is his intention here? His intention is to highlight the beauty, how fair Juliet is, by contrasting it with the color of an Ethiopian woman's skin, black and white. But then, well, when you call Juliet beautiful, would it mean that, well, the contrast is ugly? Not necessarily so. Let us not get into that, right? Let us not impute Shakespeare with racist intentions. We have doubts nonetheless. So let us stick ourselves to the description of the figure of speech. So you have night visualized as a black Ethiopian woman who wears a jewel in her ears. This jewel is Juliet. You can imagine the picture here. Juliet is a jewel, a bright jewel, contrasted against the black color of Ethiopia. Now, why this is the figure of speech, which is a technique, it's not a figure of speech. The literary technique here is contrast. Now, what does this contrast do? What is the special effect? loves, who, speaking of his love, the loved says, my love is like a red rose that springs in June. So my love, the woman I love is so beautiful that she is a newly sprung rose in the month of June. Shakespeare himself elsewhere says, speaking of name, what is there in the name? Any rose, a rose by any name would smell as sweet. He says, a rose by any name would smell as sweet. Obviously, a rose is beautiful. It is considered a beautiful flower. But we all know that the same rose looks more beautiful if we hold the rose against a green leaf. Its beauty gets heightened. There is no contrast here, yet the beauty gets heightened. Whereas here, Shakespeare works with the little technique of contrast. He enhances the beauty, heightens the beauty. At the same time, shows us the intensity of the emotion felt by the speaker. That is love. Intensity of his love. The passion, how passionate his love is. So that is the purpose. The literary technique, contrast, serves him. So she's like a rich jewel in Egypt's ear. So there is comparison, emulation, personification. There is also comparison. Similarly, as a rich jewel, she is compared to, Juliet is compared to a rich, a bright jewel. So there is similitude. Please note. We'll go ahead. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. Juliet is not a woman of ordinary beauty. No. It's a beauty that needs to be cherished, that needs to be conserved. Not a beauty that has to be used up on this earth. We speak of rose. What do we do with the rose? We use it. Well, in India, women wear it. Elsewhere, well, I don't know. Flowers, even rose, is used to decorate gods. And these flower shreds, are littered on the path of great people. So, beauty is used there. But this beauty, Juliet's beauty, is not a beauty that is to be used. It is to be cherished for earth to hear. It's not a beauty, an ordinary beauty that you find in people, in women here. Not an ordinary beauty. As they say, it is unearthly. It's ethereal beauty, heavenly beauty. For Indians, it is easy to imagine. I said, let me talk only about Indians, well, not about people from other lands. No, in Hindu mythology, you have reference to heaven, and in heaven, heaven is a place where you have, these beings, apsaras. Apsaras are women known for their ethereal beauty. The god Indra, they are ornaments in the court of Lord Indra, God Indra. So, women of ethereal beauty. Perhaps Juliet's beauty is ethereal in the same sense. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows. He moves on. She also appears, looks like a snowy dove. Right. We have a picture of dove here. Right. You have a picture. There are two birds. One is a dove, snowy, that is white, fair. And well, you see the beauty gets heightened when it's contrasted with raven. We are going to have reference to raven, this bird later on, right? When it's contrasted, you have the word raven in the background along with dove. So, snowy, like snow. Snow is white in color. Freshly fallen snow also implies that it is pure, unadulterated, unmixed with the soil. Love is also love that Juliet shows is also unadulterated, pure love. So, showing Romeo's intensity of Romeo's love again. So shows a snowy dove trooping with the crows. You have crows. Now who are these crows? Crows are the other women who are dancing along with Juliet. You may pity the other women, but that is how Shakespeare would like us to visualize the scene. That is how Romeo sees Juliet in stark contrast to Juliet's unearthly beauty. You have ordinary women there who are compared to crowds. In the picture that I showed you, you have a raven. Raven is also a crow-like bird, black in color. So the other women are. So again a contrast here. So one more instance of contrast. Now the same technique is repeated again to show the intensity of Romeo's love. Trooping with the crows. Trooping. Well, we saw that they are dancing. They are moving as a troop, as a team. So appears a snowy dove trooping with the crows. Yeah, as yonder means over there, there, lady over her fellowship. That is how the lady appears in stark contrast with her companions. That is how she looks like a snowy dove, where her companions look like crows. So far, he has been describing the heavenly beauty of Juliet. Now, the leisure done, I will watch her places. Dance is imperfect. She is dancing very beautifully. What shall I do? I shall watch her dance. The measure is dance. Any dance has, measured movements, music, rhythm. So to imply all these, Shakespeare uses the word measure to refer to dancing. So once the dance is done, I will watch her place of stand. I will watch where she stands after the dance. Then what shall I do? I am touching hers. I will go there, touching hers to make blessed my rude hand. Touching her hand, hers. Is that? The pronoun is implied. Hers means her hand. Touching her hand, make my Guru am blessed. Now, the word blessed has a religious connotation. We need to imagine here that Romeo, we need to understand here that Romeo sees Juliet as a shrine or as a saint. If love is a religion, Juliet is a saint or a shrine. Well, you all know that people go to saints, people go to shrines to wash away their sins, to redeem themselves of their sins, to acquire virtues. So, in the same sense, in the religious world, in the word of love, where love is the religion. Love is a religion, and the beloved is the goddess. And he would go to her, he would touch her hand, and make his profane hand blessed. Profane hand, a hand that is sinned. Now, if you can recall that, I told you when Romeo comes to the party, he had an intention of seeing a woman called Rosalie. He had not come to see Juliet, he had come to see Rosalie. You may even wonder, see, so much is spoken about Romeo and Juliet, love at first sight, silent love, great love, this and that. But how do you account for, how do you call this love great when you see Romeo coming there to see some other woman, and on seeing Juliet he changes his heart and falls in love with Juliet? Can you call this true love? You may wonder. But Shakespeare would like us to understand that, well, whatever love or attraction he had, it's not love, it is only attraction Romeo had towards Rosalie. It's just an attraction. It's infatuation, you can say. But whatever is happening now, it is true love. So, as a true lover, he realizes that he has sinned. Earlier, he was attracted to another woman, or perhaps a few others as well, a few more. Now, he wants to make, he wants to wash away all sins. As a true lover, where love is the religion he practices. As a true lover, he wants to wash away all his sins, earlier sins, by touching the saint-like hand of Juliet. Did my heart love till now? He asks himself, did my heart love till now? Rosalie, forswear it, Sire. Tells Sire to say no, to renounce whatever attraction he had earlier for other women. Rosalie, for that matter, to renounce all that. Sire, he has seen other women, but now he wants to be true, religiously in love with Juliet. Forswear it, renounce it, Sire, for I never saw true beauty till this night. Till I came here, I saw Juliet dancing on the dance floor. That unearthly beauty, the minute I saw it, I did not know what true love. Whatever I had, whatever feeling I be it for Rosalie or for someone else. You saw not true love. This is true love. He would like us to understand that He is very true. He is as true as a true devotee, in following, in worshipping the God. A devotee cannot tell lies to God. A devotee cannot teach God, cannot cheat God. The same way, he cannot tell lies. His love is true. Of course, as historically, as when we see the story begins, we do agree that his love is true love. But we are to conclude, we are to say if his love is true or not, based on what the literary techniques employed by the poet Shakespeare. So, dear students, we see Romeo's words. Let's move on. Juliet. As I said, Juliet's words are taken from another scene, another act, another scene. It happens a little later. But Juliet is also spellbound by Romeo, is equally attracted, and well, her love is as intense or perhaps more intense and passionate than that of Romeo. So Juliet said, "Come, Romeo, thou day and night." Now you are a part of this online class. Online class is a necessity at the time of this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. But a language class would be better done when the students are right in front of the teacher. I remember the small tricks, the mistakes the students would play. Seeing this line, right? A naughty students would have a temptation to read out the line this way. And the meaning also depends on how you read out a particular line or word. Come, Romeo, come, thou day and night. You have a temptation to read out the line that way, which would imply a different meaning. So, dear students, it's time now. The session comes to an end, but not the poem of Romeo and Juliet. We will continue with Romeo and Juliet.